Hello, and welcome to the Social Security Show. I'm Daniel Summers, your host, a public affairs specialist in the Chicagoland area. But I'm not the only host that we have. With me is my co-host, and if you'd please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Chicagoland. We are so excited to be here with you today. And my name is Josephine Mueller, and I am also a public affairs specialist as Mr. Daniel Summers is. We go out to the community, we provide information in regards to Social Security's benefits and programs, and we are thrilled to be with you here today. And we have lots of great information in store for you. So please stay with us.
All right. And with that being said, we like to talk about what we're going to talk about. And today we're going to talk a bit about financial literacy and Social Security. But first, we need to give you a little information and then show you a very, very important public service announcement.
So we're going to go ahead and go straight to that public service announcement that is about scams. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all so that you can see that short clip in regards to Social Security scams and fraud. And are you able to see my screen okay there, Mr. Summers?
I can indeed.
Okay, great. So now I'm just going to make sure that my volume is able to be heard. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play it for everyone here.
The reason of this call is to inform you that your Social Security number has been suspended for suspicion of illegal activity. If you do not contact us immediately, your account will be deactivated. For more information about this case file, press 1 or call immediately our department number, 326.
This is a scam. Thieves are misusing the Social Security Administration's authority and phone schemes to trick you into giving them money or personal information. They state there is a problem with your Social Security number or account. They claim there's been suspicious or fraudulent activity, and you could be arrested or face other legal action. They even spoof SSA's main customer service telephone number on caller ID. Don't believe them. Don't provide any information. SSA employees will never threaten you for information or promise benefits in exchange for information. In those cases, the call is fraudulent. Just hang up. If you suspect you've been contacted by an SSA scammer, call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.
Social Security.
Very important information there. Information that we all need to be reminded of. Great video. I actually like that one a lot. And I especially don't like the scammers. But onward. Let's talk a little bit now about our subject today. Because here at Social Security, we want you to understand how we play and work into your financial plan for the future. We're more than just retirement. We are with you through life's journey, and we'll begin this journey now. Onward. Step 1 is getting to know us, but step 2 is verifying your earnings. Now, why would anyone want to verify their earnings? Well, it's very important. The amount that you are paid by Social Security, whether it's for disability or retirement, hinges upon what you've paid in FICA taxes, and your work credits are vital. You need 40 work credits for retirement and Medicare benefits. That's right, Medicare benefits also require this work. So you can see that's pretty important. You can earn 4 credits a year, and guess what? $1,360 is 1 credit. So we're going to move on to the next slide, and we'll talk just a bit about your benefits. Now, how do you plan your retirement without knowing what you're going to get? You don't. So in order to estimate your benefits, we have lots of online services. But first, I want to give you a few sobering facts. 51% of the people in this country who are working right now have no private pension from their employer. That's right. When they get their last day of work, they've earned their last earnings, and their last check is the last money they'll ever see from that employer. Think about that. 51%, more than half of people in the United States, don't have a private pension plan at all. 34% of people have zilch, no savings for retirement. So as you can see, Social Security as a source of income and for your future retirement plays a huge role. But Social Security doesn't attempt to replace what you made and what you saved. It, on average, replaces 40% of your income. So long-term planning is incredibly essential. So if a person has their pension plus their savings plus Social Security, they're having a great retirement. Some people will end up just relying on Social Security. It was never the intent, but as a great program, the idea was to ensure that people do not, in their later years, have impoverished circumstances and can't meet their needs. Onward. So now you know a little bit about why Social Security is. We think that other income, savings, investments, pension, and Social Security are a winning combination when you combine them all, and they're what you live off of. Onward. So as we think about retirement, let's think about life expectancy. There was a time around here when people only lived to 35 or 40 years old. You were an old man at 35. But someone turning 65 nowadays, like, look, just last year, April Fool's Day, 2019, could expect to live until 84.0. Lots of people outlive their savings. But here, check this out. A woman turning 65 on that same day can expect to live until 86.5 years. Wow, 86 and a half. Those are just averages, though. 1 in every 3 65-year-olds today is going to live to be 90 or older, and 1 out of 7 will live past 95. So talk about outliving your savings. It happens. But the great thing is you never outlive Social Security, because guess what? We're there for you throughout life's journey. So you never run out of Social Security. Social Security is there till the end. Not bad. And for more information on that, go to socialsecurity.gov/planners/lifeexpectancy.html. Onward. So now we know how long people live. Let's think about how many people get Social Security. Because if they retire in their 60s, guess what? That's a lot of people, especially with our baby boomers. And as of December 2019, 45.1 million retired workers were receiving $67.8 billion, with a B, $billion in Social Security benefits every month. But that's not all. They had dependents, right, Josie? And at that same time, 3.1 million dependents of these workers were receiving $2.4 billion in monthly Social Security benefits. So obviously, Social Security really is the heart of your financial plans in many respects, but they're not the only part. Onward. So we see now when people are retiring, that's a lot of money we just talked about, right? Who pays for that? Where does the money come from? Well, let's talk about that. Onward. Here's where we see who's paying into Social Security. 177 million workers will pay into Social Security taxes in 2020. 177 million. That's 94% of all workers. They're covered or they're eligible. So Social Security gets its funding to pay all of these people from all of these workers. So if you're working under Social Security or paying FICA taxes, then you're a part of this system, and an important part, not just when you retire and receive benefits, but when you pay into and support this institution. Onward. So we know how many people receive it, and I talked about Social Security taxes, and FICA taxes are just that. What is that? A Federal Insurance Contributions Act. That's right. Off the top of your paycheck, your gross wages, 7.65% is deducted. Nobody likes taxes, right? But this is a good tax, because that amount that you pay is matched by your employer, making it a total of 15.3% of your gross wages. And this is what funds these programs. Onward. So now we know just a bit more about how that works. Let's look and see who's on Social Security benefits. 59.8 million. big part of the pie there, right? All right, retirees, but there are lots of beneficiaries. 5.4 million people receive SSI. And guess what? Some receive both. That's 2.7 million people. Now think, 1 million people is a lot. Look at how many millions receive Social Security. Interesting. Onward. So now that we have taken a look at that, one of the natural questions that people ask are, well, how are we going to pay for this? And how long is Social Security going to last? I frequently get this question, is Social Security even going to be there when I turn 62 or 65 or 70? Well, understand that Social Security pays people out of the trust funds, the old age and survivors payment, and disability insurance trust funds. They're two separate places where the money is kept. Now, guess what? We will be able to pay all benefits in full and on time until 2034, just as it stands. There might not be legislative changes, and there might be. Now, we've had situations in the past, like in the 1980s, where it looked pretty bad. Reserve depletion in the past, but Congress always made substantial modifications to avoid any problems. And since 1935, the Social Security Administration has always paid everyone everything they're entitled to on time. But if this doesn't change, and Congress doesn't change some things before 2034, the trust funds would still be able to pay 79% of each benefit due. But until that time, it's smooth sailing. Onward. So, Social Security is a pretty interesting place to be. But you won't be there unless you've paid those 40 quarters in, and then you can retire. Or you can retire if you are old enough. And speaking of retirement, Josephine is going to talk to you just a bit about how retirement works.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel Summers. That was great information in regards to how we contribute into Social Security, and information in regards to the FICA taxes, and some great information in regards to scam at the very beginning of the show. And I hope our viewers are still with us, because we have more great information in store for them. And what we're going to talk about is your retirement party. Of course, here at Social Security, we wouldn't miss that. And we want to let you know when you become eligible for Social Security retirement benefits and how you qualify for them. So here you go. How do you qualify for retirement benefits? Well, you qualify by earning credits when you work and pay into Social Security taxes. You need 40 credits, approximately 10 years of work, and you must be 62 years of age or older. And each $1,360 in earnings gives you 1 credit, and you can earn a maximum of 4 credits per year. To earn 4 credits in this year, 2020, you must earn at least $5,440. So 1 credit, as long as you work and pay into Social Security, you can earn the maximum of 4 credits. Now, sometimes people earn more, but the max that you can earn are 4 credits per year. Now, how does Social Security determine your benefit? And this is a question that we get asked quite frequently. So we take 3 steps to determine your benefit. Step 1 is your wages are adjusted for changes in wage levels over time. Step 2, we find the monthly average of your 35 highest years of earnings, and it results in an average index monthly of earnings. So essentially, we take the highest 35 years of your work earnings in order to calculate your monthly Social Security retirement benefit. So it's so important for your earnings to be correct, and for you to continuously look at your earnings to ensure that those earnings are posted correctly, so that way you receive the correct monthly benefit once you do apply for those Social Security retirement benefits at age 62 or older. Now, this right here is a fact sheet on how your retirement benefit is figured. This is a nice publication. You can find it on our website at socialsecurity.gov. We have several publications that are free. You can look at them online. You can even listen to them audio online, or you can request them to be mailed to you. But this publication in particular gives you a little bit more in-depth information in regards to how your retirement benefit is figured. But essentially, it's the highest 35 years of your work earnings. Now, I'm not a big math fan myself, and I prefer the calculators. So we do have calculators, and Social Security has the retirement estimator, and I like this. This is a nice feature because it's convenient, secure, it's a quick financial planning tool, it's immediate and accurate, and it lets you create those what-if scenarios based on different ages and your earnings. So I am going to play you a short little video on what and how you can use these earnings, these different earnings calculators or retirement calculators. So I'm going to get to that right now, and I'm going to share with you my screen. But all this great information can be found on our website. So we definitely encourage you to check our website out at www.socialsecurity.gov. We're going to pull up that video because I really want you all to see this video. It's a really nice video, and it talks about, okay, so I got it pulled up. And now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and I think you guys can all see my screen now, and I'm going to go ahead and hit play so you can see how our retirement calculators work.
Curious about what your future Social Security retirement benefit estimates may look like? Use the retirement calculator in your personal My Social Security account to find out. You can plan for your future using your benefit estimates that are based on your personal earnings. Just create or sign into your My Social Security account by going to www.socialsecurity.gov/myaccount and scroll down the page. Select Go to Retirement Calculator to get started. You'll immediately see your individualized benefit estimates at age 62, your full retirement age, and age 70. You can also compare your individualized benefit estimates for different scenarios. Simply choose a future age to begin receiving retirement benefits in years and months, for example, age 64 and 4 months, or the future date to begin receiving retirement benefits, for example, June 2025. You can also enter the future average annual income you expect to earn. You will then see your benefit estimates for each scenario in both written and chart form for easy comparison. The retirement calculator gives you personalized benefit estimates that are closer to what your actual benefit will be when you're ready to start receiving them, and a better understanding of how when you begin receiving benefits affects the monthly amount you can expect to receive. It's never been easier to plan for your future. Create or sign into your My Social Security account and start using the retirement calculator today. If you need extra assistance in creating your account, please contact the My Social Security hotline at 1-800-772-1213 and say Help Desk. See what else you can do online at socialsecurity.gov. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
So that right there was a really nice video in regards to how to use the My Social Security account. You can create your My Social Security account, and that's something we'll talk a little bit more about later, but it's a nice little demo on how to use the retirement estimators online. So as you saw in that video, you're able to receive an estimate of what your retirement benefits are or will be in the future, and it gives you a breakdown by different ages. And this right here is an example of some results. So we encourage you to, go online, create a My Social Security account, do a retirement estimate for yourself, because it's never too early to plan for your future. And talking about planning for your future, many people ask us, well, what is the best age to start receiving my Social Security retirement benefits? And here at Social Security, we can't give you a direct answer on that because it's different for everybody, and it's based on our individual needs. It's based on our personal health history and our family health history, because if some people may choose to take their benefit early at age 62, say they've they've stopped working, and say they know they have a family health history where, you know, they may need to take their benefits early. So they draw benefits early, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can draw your benefits as early as age 62. Or say somebody's in a different situation, say they feel great and they're able to work and delay taking their Social Security retirement benefit because they have a good personal health history and they have a pretty good family health history. So they're like, you know what, I'm going to look at everything here. I'm okay. I feel great. I'm able to work. So I'm going to delay it. So it's all personal choice, personal preference, and it all depends on several different personal factors. So we encourage you to take a look at all those personal factors prior to making that huge decision. But we here at Social Security can give you your options. So here are your options. And in this example, you can see how those options differ. So as we stated, 62 is the earliest that you can take your Social Security retirement benefit. And if you take a look at this chart, you're able to see an example of somebody who takes their benefit early at age 62, what that amount would be. And in this example, we're assuming that this individual is full retirement at age 66. So if this person were to take their benefit early at age 62, their monthly benefit would be $750. If this same person decided to wait until their full retirement age, which is 66, and at this point they'd receive 100% of their benefit would be $1,000 per month. Now, if this same individual decided to wait until they were age 70, until they're age 70, which is the maximum that somebody can delay their Social Security benefit, their monthly benefit would be $1,320 a month. So this chart is a nice example of how the benefit does grow time after some time has passed. Now, our full retirement age is different according to our year of birth. So for individuals that were born between 1943 and 1954, their full retirement age is at age 66. If this person takes their benefit early at age 62, then they receive 75% of the benefit. If the individual in this same year of birth bracket takes their benefit at age 70, they receive 132% of their benefit. At full retirement age, we always assume that the person is eligible or will be receiving 100% of their benefit. As you can see, in 1955, full retirement age increases, and it's 66 in 2 months. And as time goes on, the retirement age is increasing, and the percentage at age 62 does change, as well as the percentage at age 70. To see this chart, you can visit our website at socialsecurity.gov. Now, many people will ask, well, what if I take my benefit early, but I decide to continue to work? And that's okay, you can do that. However, if you do take your Social Security retirement benefit early, say for example at age 62, and you decide to still continue to work, keep in mind you're subject to an earnings limit. So how much you work and earn from your employer does and can affect your Social Security monthly benefit. So just keep that in mind if you do continue to work and you also receive monthly Social Security retirement benefits. Once you turn full retirement age, at that point, you're no longer subject to earnings limits. So when somebody turns full retirement age, whether that's 66, whether that's 66 in 2 months or 66 in 4 months, whatever your full retirement age is, once you turn that age, you are no longer subject to an earnings limit. And for more information in regards to earnings limits, please visit our website at socialsecurity.gov. We have lots of information in regards to that. Now, we also have calculators in regards to that. So if you would like to see, well, how much am I going to receive from Social Security if I'm earning this much from work? You can check that out, and you can do that estimation on our website if you go to our earnings test calculator. It's also a very nice calculator where you can go ahead and check out, plan for your future and check out what you'd be eligible for if you were still working.
Wow, that was interesting information. But as usual, someone wants to know something, Josephine, about Social Security. And I received another one of those wonderful letters that we always get. And I'll tell you, I think that this is a perfect opportunity to ask you the question, even though it's directed to me. All right, dear Mr. Social Security, I have a neighbor, and she receives benefits off of her husband's Social Security and brags to all the girls about it. My husband and I both receive Social Security, but I worked and I get my own Social Security. Why can't I get benefits off my husband's, and how do I show her a thing or two that I can do it too?
That is a great question. We do get that question quite frequently in regards to spousal benefits. And that's a great question that leads us into our next segment, which is spousal benefits. And we are there for you throughout your wedding. And we're going to talk about spousal benefits here. And this slide right here is going to give you a little bit more information, and it's going to answer that question for everyone here. So what exactly are spousal benefits? Well, it's a benefit. The benefit is 50% of the worker's unreduced benefit. There is a reduction for early retirement, and if a spouse's own benefit is less than 50% of the worker's, the benefits are combined. It does not reduce the payment to the worker, and a benefit is 100% regardless of age if a spouse is caring for a child under the age of 16 or disabled. So for this slide, I like to give an example to help clarify the slide and kind of help clarify that question that you had. So in this example, I will use myself, and there's 3 different scenarios in my example. Scenario 1 will be that, say my spouse, he's full retirement age at 66 and he's full retirement age right now. And let's say I'm full retirement age right now as well, and I'm 66. Well, my spouse applies for Social Security retirement benefits, and he's eligible for $2,000 per month based off of his earnings. Now, let's say I didn't work outside the household, so I primarily worked inside the household, and I was a homemaker, so my earnings record doesn't have any earnings on there. I have 0 earnings on my earnings record. So I'm not eligible for Social Security retirement benefits based off of my own record because I don't have any earnings on my record. However, I am married, currently married, and I'm full retirement age, and so is my spouse, and he's drawing benefits now. So that makes me eligible for half of his benefit. So half of his benefit is $1,000 because we said that his monthly benefit is $2,000. So I'm eligible for half of his benefit, which is $1,000. Now, my husband might say, oh, Josephine, you're going to start drawing off of my record. Does that mean that my $2,000 is going to be reduced because you're drawing $1,000 off of my record now? I love you and all, but I don't want my benefit to be decreased. Now, the answer to that is no. My husband's benefit's going to stay the same. He's going to continue to get the $2,000 per month, and I'm going to get the $1,000 per month based off of his record. So it doesn't lower his benefit amount for me to draw benefits off of his record. And the reason for that is because when we pay into Social Security, we not only pay for ourselves, but we're paying for a family. Second scenario. Now, let's keep my husband at those $2,000 per month. So he's eligible for $2,000 per month from Social Security. He's full retirement age. I'm full retirement age. And in this second scenario, I did work, okay? So I have some earnings on my earnings record. They may not be that high, but there are earnings on my earnings record because I worked part-time outside of the household. So in this example, or in this scenario, I am eligible for $500 a month off of my own Social Security retirement record. So that's $500 a month. Now let's keep in mind, half of my husband's benefit is going to be $1,000 because he gets $2,000 every month. Now, Social Security is going to bump me up another $500, give me another $500 off of my husband's record because half of his benefit is $1,000. So it's going to bring me up to what half of his benefit is. But $500 of the benefit is going to come from my own record, and $500 is going to come off of my spouse's record for it to make a total of $1,000 for me. That's the second scenario. Third scenario. Now let's say, my husband, $2,000 per month, but in this third scenario, I worked significantly and my earnings are high. So in this third scenario, I'm the high earner here, and I had a great job with great earnings, and those 35 years of earnings that were calculated for me were high years, high earnings. So my monthly benefit is $3,000 a month. Now, we said my husband's benefit's $2,000 a month. I'm only eligible for half of his benefit as a spouse. So half of his benefit is $1,000 a month. Now, my $3,000 per month that I'm eligible for is way higher than that $1,000 a month I could get off of his record. So in this third scenario, I would not be eligible for benefits off of my spouse's record. So those are the 3 different scenarios that essentially sum up spousal benefits. And I hope that's able to answer that question, that Mr. My Social Security question for you all. So let's talk a little bit about deemed filing. So deemed filing is if you become eligible for Social Security benefits both as a retiree and as a spouse or a divorced spouse, and you want to go ahead and claim your benefits, you must file for both benefits. It applies at any age for people who turned age 62 after January 1st, 2016. So now people are deemed to file. So in the situation where I was telling you all that, I was eligible for $500 off of my own record, in this particular situation, I wouldn't be able to say, no, I don't want to take my husband's benefits. I'm eligible for that additional 500 to put me at that 1,000. I'm deemed to file for that other benefit I'm entitled to. So when Social Security takes an application, we as Social Security representatives look to see everything you're entitled to when we are taking an application from you to file for benefits. So that way we ensure you receive everything you're entitled to, and you are deemed to file for both benefits. Now, just as there's benefits for spouses, and we talked about those scenarios, there's also benefits for divorced spouses, and the benefits work the same way as those scenarios that we talked about. But the difference is that when you are a divorced spouse, you have to prove that you were married 10 years or more. So it's very important to show proof of the duration of your marriage. It can't be short at all, the 10 years. You can't be, a day shy of the 10 years. It has to be 10 years that you have to prove that you were married. And we would request to see a certified copy of the divorce decree, and we request to see the marriage certificate. Social Security only accepts original documents, so please keep that in mind when you do apply for benefits. Now, just as there's benefits for retirement benefits for ourselves, spousal benefits, there's also benefits for survivors and for children. So a child may receive benefits if not married and is under the age of 18, or under age 19 if still in high school. A disabled child may receive benefits beyond the age of 18 if not married and was disabled prior to the age of 22. A widow, widower, a divorced widow, widower may get full benefits at full retirement age, or reduced benefits at age 60 or as early as age 50 if disabled, or at any age if caring for a child under 16 or a disabled child. So we talked about how Social Security retirement benefits, you're eligible to receive benefits as early as age 62. Well, if you're a survivor, you're eligible to receive benefits even sooner at age 60. So a little bit more on survivors' benefits. If you were to pass away, your surviving spouse may, at full retirement age, receive 100% of the deceased worker's unreduced benefit, or at age 60, receive 71.5% of your full benefit, and it increases each month if you wait 100%, up to 100% if you wait till full retirement age, or if you claim survivor's benefits at any age between 60 and full retirement age. So as a survivor, you can claim benefits at any age between 60 and full retirement age. If you are a survivor and you claim benefits early at age 60, you'll receive 71.5% of the benefit. If you are a survivor and you wait until your full retirement age, you'll collect 100% of that survivor's benefit.
Wow.
Now, that's a lot of information. And I have a question for you, Mr. Summer. Now, say, some people decide to voluntarily suspend their benefit. And say, for instance, in my scenario, say I decided to voluntarily suspend my Social Security retirement benefit. And my spouse is eligible for benefits off of my record because, say, I was the high earner in this situation. But I'm voluntarily suspending my benefit. Can my spouse collect on my record?
That's an excellent question. And it used to be a strategy, particularly for higher earning people, to voluntarily suspend their benefits, to take their retirement benefit. In other words, for instance, if you did that and asked to suspend it, in other words, not get payments, so that you continue to earn what are called delayed retirement credits, which increase the amount you receive up to age 70. But the other part of that was a spouse and dependent at that time was able to receive benefits while yours were suspended. But in 2016, a lot of changes occurred to the policy. While that was a good strategy for some people who wanted to keep working or for their benefit to grow, what about the spouse getting that benefit? That's like eating your cake and having it too. Well, unfortunately for most people, the answer to that question is no. Voluntary suspension was one of the changes that occurred in our recent history in a bid to make sure that the Social Security program remains solvent and in good shape so we can continue to pay everyone. So in answer to your question, nah, in most instances, people won't be able to suspend their benefits while their spouse receives the benefit. But check, because based on your date of birth, it may be possible. Great question.
Thank you for that answer.
All right, now, if turnabout is fair play, I've got another question. It came to me once again as a Dear Mr. Social Security question. However, here is my question. All right, Dear Mr. Social Security, I am age 62 and I've had enough. I'm going to stop working effective December 2020. I'm tired of my boss, but I've got 8 weeks vacation and I plan on using every bit of it. So I'm going to keep being on vacation until the beginning of March. I'd like to take my Social Security in January of 2021, but I'm concerned that getting my vacation from January 1st through the end of February will mess up my Social Security because it will look like I'm still working. How do I handle this? And will I be able to get my Social Security benefits without a problem?
That is a great question. And that leads us into what is called special payments after retirement. So an individual may stop working. However, if they receive vacation pay after they've stopped working or a bonus after they've stopped working, all those special payments are not considered towards the earnings limit. So it's important to ensure to let your representative know when you're completing the application that those payments that you received after you stopped working are either bonuses or vacation pay. They're essentially called special payments after retirement, and they do not affect you. They don't affect that earnings limit. So you can find more information in regards to special payments after retirement on our website at www.socialsecurity.gov. We have lots of publications, but essentially after you retire, you may receive payments for work you did before you started getting Social Security benefits. Usually those payments will not affect your Social Security benefit if they are for work done before you retired. This fact sheet describes some of the more common types of special payments, and it helps you decide if you received any and tells you what steps to take if you did. So please check our fact sheets out on our website and become a little bit more informed on what those special payments are, because that may be something that pertains to you. I know it pertains to the gentleman that wrote you. So I hope I was able to answer his question. But now I have another question for you, Mr. Summers. So we get this question a lot. So I'm pretty sure you're extremely familiar with it. And people will ask, well, you know, I'm going to start receiving my Social Security benefits, and you know, I'm also working. And so I'm going to be getting a lot of money this year because I'm going to be working, and then we're going to add those Social Security benefits that I'm earning this year. So I'm going to possibly be in a high income bracket. Is my Social Security benefit going to be taxed?
Wow, that's a great question, and I've heard it before. And so a great question deserves a great answer. And that answer is maybe. It depends. Perhaps. Here's the real answer. It really does depend not only on your Social Security, but also the other income you have. Because if you think about your good friends at the IRS, they don't just look at your Social Security and say, should we tax it or should we not? They look at all of your income. So guess what? There's a formula. And here it is. If you think you hate math, boy, do I hate math. But what's looked at is your adjusted gross income plus the non-taxable interest and half of your Social Security benefits. and that's called your combined income. So the question is your combined income taxed? Is your Social Security taxed? How do we get out of this mess? Well, the next slide is going to give you a little bit more of an answer. And here it is. It depends. Remember that part of my answer? If you file a federal income tax return as an individual and your combined income is between $25,000 and $34,000, well, guess what? You may have to pay income tax on up to 50% of your benefits. If it's more than $34,000, maybe up to 85% of your benefits. Not paying 85% of your benefits in taxes, but taxes on 85% of your benefits up to that amount. Now, there are other rules for if you file a joint return, and the same formula applies, but the numbers are different. So the biggest thing I can tell you is this. If some people receive only Social Security, it's very likely that they won't owe taxes. However, as you can see, depending upon whether you file as an individual, whether file a joint return, or if you're married and file a separate tax return, the answers can be different, perhaps for the same amount of money. It just depends. So please consult your tax professional and find out, because technically that's an IRS question. And for further information, visit irs.gov and search for publication 554. And that will explain a lot of how those brackets and those taxes apply to you. Josie?
That's great information, because that is a frequently asked question that we receive at our offices. And, you know, you can choose to have taxes withheld from your monthly Social Security benefits if you would like. And you would have to just fill out what's called a tax withholding form, and you can elect to have different percentages withheld. I think this year the percentages that you can withhold are 7%, 10%, 12%, and 22% per month. So you can pick between those percentages. But once again, we can't tell you what percentage to pick or choose, and we can't, you know, also we can't tell you or advise you on how to do all of that. That's something that, as Mr. Summers stated, you need to consult with your tax preparer, your accountant, and, you know, you can submit the form, tax withholding form, to us, and then we can go ahead and apply that to your monthly Social Security benefit if you would like. But without further ado, we're going to talk a little bit about Medicare. So there are 4 parts to Medicare: Part A, Medicare Part B, Part C, and Part D. Now, what do these parts cover? Well, let me tell you what they cover here. Part A covers emergency hospital visits only. Part B covers 80% of regular doctor's visits. Part C covers their Medicare Advantage plans. So Part C plans normally cover the remaining 20% that your Part B doesn't cover. And the Part D plan is prescription drugs. Now at Social Security, we help you apply for the Part A and Part B. So you apply for the Part A and Part B through us at Social Security. We take your application for those 2 parts. For the Part C and Part D, if you're requesting either of those 2 plans, you need to contact Medicare directly at medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE, and you can select a plan with them or through a private health insurance company. But Part A and Part B, you come to Social Security to apply for those. Now, a little bit more on enrollment periods for Medicare. So there are 3 different enrollment periods for Medicare, and there's the initial enrollment period, which is 3 months before you turn age 65, the month you turn age 65, and 3 months after you turn age 65. That's the initial enrollment period. Now, if a person is still working when they're 65 and they have insurance, active employment and insurance through their employer's group health plan, they can delay and take the Medicare Part B at a later date without a penalty, as long as they fall into what's called the special enrollment period. And for somebody to qualify for a special enrollment period, they must have been actively employed and insured through an employer's group health plan since age 65, and they have to show proof of that, and they will not incur a penalty. And the 3rd enrollment period is the general enrollment period. And during the general enrollment period, there is a penalty that is incurred. This enrollment period is anywhere between January 1st to March 31st of any year, and your Medicare Part B will become effective of July of the year that you enroll. So it doesn't become effective right away. It becomes effective in July of the year that you enroll. And keep in mind, if you are in the general enrollment period, there is a penalty 10% per year for not having the Medicare Part B at age 65, because when somebody qualifies for the general enrollment period, normally that means that they're no longer eligible for the special enrollment period or eligible for the initial enrollment period. So please update yourself on these enrollment periods. You can find this information on our website at socialsecurity.gov. We have information in regards to Medicare publications with a wealth of information. And enrollment in any part of Medicare will affect your health savings account. So if you have a health savings account, please speak to your employer in regards to how enrollment to Medicare will affect you. Now, individuals that do earn higher earnings, that fall into higher income brackets, do pay more for Medicare Part B. The standard Part B premium for this year in 2020 is $144.60. However, individuals who are higher income earners will pay that standard premium plus an additional premium based on their income. So in order to inform yourself more on the, it's called the IRMA, the Income Related Medicare Adjustment, in order to inform yourself more in regards to this, please visit our website at socialsecurity.gov. Now, how do you apply for Medicare? Well, there's two ways that you could apply for Medicare right now. You can call us at our 1-800 number, 1-800-772-1213, or you can call us at our local field office numbers, and we'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Or you can apply online. That's the most easy, efficient way to apply right now for Medicare. So you can apply online. And if you are applying for a special enrollment period, keep in mind you're going to need two forms. You're going to need the Form 40B and the Form CMS L564. These two forms can be found online on our website. And you can click on forms and you'll find these two forms. For more information in regards to Medicare, you could visit Medicare's website at medicare.gov. They will have specific information in regards to the Medicare coverage. This is what your Medicare card will look like. The Social Security number used to be on our Medicare cards prior to 2020. And now there are unique identifying numbers on our Medicare cards. So all Medicare cards are currently reflect a unique identifying number, and that's to protect everyone's identity. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the Social Security online services, and this is what our webpage looks like. So as you can see, there's a box for retirement, disability, a box. There's a little circle here with the My Social Security account that you could click on. There's just lots of information in regards to the different programs and benefits Social Security has to offer. So for additional information, please visit our website and check out the information that we have here for you. Now, we talked a little bit about the My Social Security at the beginning of the presentation and how important it is to have a My Social Security account to review your earnings, because keep in mind, Social Security uses the highest 35 years of your work earnings in order to calculate your monthly Social Security benefit. Now, how do you keep yourself updated on what your earnings record shows? Well, you can create a My Social Security account, and this is how you do it. You visit socialsecurity.gov and select My Social Security. Step 2, select Create an Account. Step 3, verify your identity. And step 4, choose a username and a password. Once you have all these steps taken care of, you're going to be able to go onto your My Social Security account and pull up your earnings record, verify that all your earnings are correct, so that way you are sure that once you collect Social Security retirement benefits, that monthly benefit is accurate. Now, you can also see those estimates here. So this is an example of somebody who has a My Social Security account, who went into their account, and they can see what they're eligible for at age 66, at age 70, at age 65. So this is such a nice feature that is found through your My Social Security account. What else can you do on your online account? There's several things you can do. You can request that online statement. You can request proof of income letter. You can request a replacement Medicare card. You can even request a replacement Social Security card. So many of the things that you can do at our local field offices, you can do online in the comfort of your own home. So we definitely encourage you to check out our website, check out the My Social Security account. As you can see here, this red oval circle right here, it's request a replacement card. This is a nice new feature that well, I guess it's not too new, but it is fairly new for us. It came about I'd say 3 or 4 years ago, and you know, you can request a replacement Social Security card right online, so you no longer have to come to our offices. You can you don't have to wait in line at our offices. You can go online. So it's definitely a nice feature on our My Social Security account. And to apply for benefits, you can, like I said, visit us online, or you can call us by phone at 1-800-772-1213. We are still open to the public. We're open for you as far as taking calls. We are answering questions, taking applications. We're taking care of your business online. We may not be taking walk-ins at our field offices at this time, but we are still here for you. So we want to let you know that we are still open. Our employees are working. They're just working remotely. We're working in a different way, but we're still here for you. And this right here is our field office locator. You know, if you're having a hard time getting through to our 1-800 number, this is a more efficient, quicker way to get through to us. You go to our website, type in field office locator, enter in your zip code. It'll pull up your local field office phone number, and it will be a more smoother, quicker process to get through to speak to a local representative if you are having a hard time getting through our national Social Security hotline. And we're going to talk a little bit more on scam awareness. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Mr. Daniel Summer, and he's going to give you some more tips on scam awareness.
Thank you, Josephine. That was a mouthful. Great information about Medicare especially. So let's talk about scam awareness. The phone calls are happening. There are people who are using Social Security's good name to turn a profit at your expense. So we need to be very serious about this. We want you to understand the threat. The threat is to your security, to your income, to your identity, to your credit. All right, so exercise caution. That means just because someone calls you and they say they're from Social Security, you have the right to be skeptical. In fact, you have the responsibility to be careful because you don't want to release your information. Once your information is out there, it can go on the dark web. People buy and sell Social Security numbers and identities and credit. And guess what? It can be at your expense. So exercise caution. I can't say that enough. And I can't say enough that you need to secure your information. Don't just let anyone see or access your Social Security number unless it's absolutely necessary. Because in the end, you may be faced with an identity theft or a credit theft, and we don't want to leave you holding the bag. And Social Security does its part to protect your information, and we'd like for you to do yours. Onward. So we contact citizens. We really do. But normally it's someone who has ongoing business with Social Security. If you're getting a phone call from out of the blue, that's a red flag. And they say they're from Social Security. Sometimes they ask your name. Well, if you're calling me from Social Security, what business can you have with me and you don't know my name? And asking your Social Security number or date of birth, why we gave you your Social Security number, not your date of birth, but wouldn't you be suspicious? So understand, for customer service purposes, we do contact you, but not normally out of the blue, and we certainly don't threaten you or tell you you're going to be arrested. We're not law enforcement, that there's an indictment, or that you have to pay us to get a benefit, or that if you don't give us information, your benefits will be cut off. None of that is Social Security's position, and we don't do those things. So in the cases where you hear any of that, this call is fraudulent. Hang up and don't give them your information. In that way, you protect yourself, you protect others, and by the way, if you report that call to Social Security, you help lots of other people by helping us to end these scammers, because they're calling a lot, and we want to stop them. Josie?
Yes, we do want to stop them, and those are great tips on how to protect yourself from these scams. And we also want to let you know how to keep yourself informed on Social Security's updates, because we do have updates quite frequently. We've got updates daily, and in order to keep yourself updated, you can visit our website and go to COVID-19 updates and hit the subscribe button. when you click on subscribe, you can enter in your email or your cell phone number, and you'll be able to get some live updates on anything new that's happening with Social Security. We have information in regards to scams on there as well, because there were scams that did come around during the pandemic. And can you talk a little bit about those scams, Mr. Summer, where people were offering a higher benefit amount, or were talking about the pandemic, COVID-19?
For sure. Now, the Social Security Administration has not made one single solitary phone call about the coronavirus, but I've had people contact me letting me know that Social Security has called them and they said that there's a payment that's going to be related to the pandemic. Social Security's made no such calls. Also, there's a scam every minute, Josephine. So whether it's the pandemic, whether it's the presidential election, whether it's we'll increase your benefit if you just give us this information, or buy some gift cards. The federal government doesn't have people buying gift cards for it. So understand, so many scams, but the way that you can keep updated is to remember, exercise caution and protect your information. And when in doubt, tell these people, sorry, I'm going to call my local Social Security office. You were just shown how to use the field office locator to find out who they are. And in that way, if there is some question, if Social Security was calling you, anyone in a Social Security office can look up the issue. But bear in mind, the overwhelming majority of the time when you get these phone calls, like the robotic voices, we don't have robots. Just hang up, because they are not Social Security. Call your local office and find out if you believe that there's a legitimate purpose for Social Security to call you. Josie?
Yes, great information. Yes, just hang up and subscribe to our COVID-19 updates so that you get those daily updates in regards to any changes with Social Security or local field offices. And all the information that we provided today is current as of October 2020. Social Security information does change from time to time, so we want to let you know to keep yourself updated. Visit our website to see if there's any changes, because we gave you lots of information on today's show, but things do change from time to time, so you are going to want to keep yourself updated on any changes or information. But talking about updates, we have a great update for everyone, Mr. Summer.
Oh.
There is a 2021 COLA.
And when we talk about COLA, we don't mean Sprite or Dr. Pepper. We're talking about money, aren't we? Because
Yes.
COLA stands for Cost of Living Adjustment. And as we all know, things are not getting cheaper, right? So tell me about this COLA, because this is more refreshing than a soft drink. Josie?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about this COLA, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen once again, so that way our viewers can see this nice little short video that we have in regards to this great COLA update.
Social Security benefits and supplemental security income payments for approximately 70 million Americans will increase 1.3% in 2021. Want to know your new benefit amount as soon as possible? Sign up for or log into your personal My Social Security account. With My Social Security, you can view and save your COLA notices securely and opt out of receiving notices by mail that are available online. Learn more at www.ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Great. Well, Josephine, I'll drink to that COLA with my Social Security cup, because a cost of living adjustment increase is always a good thing for the public.
Absolutely. And we want to thank our viewers today for staying with us and watching your Chicago Access Television Network for this Social Security program, watching the Social Security program, and checking out all the information that we have to offer. And we look forward to seeing you next time. And thank you for being with us. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.